Welcome! These are horse racing selections for Wednesday, the 13th of September. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you're all very, very well. Alright, it is the start of the Flat Cap Callum week. We're here. What do we have in store? Well, the most important thing I think to tell you is, those of you who've been watching a long time will remember the Made Up festival that we had on the channel, which was International Positivity Week, which turned out to be an absolute roaring success when we made that up when we were having a bad run. Now, what do you want? Do you want International Positivity Week? Or do you want the legitimate, actual 13th of September is officially National Positivity Day? So, I have got for you on Wednesday, I've got for you 6 horses in 6 different races. So I've split them across 2 Yankees. Let's see if the recognised National Positivity Day does us any favours. So it's a £15.50 stake. So it's just a touch over 3/4 of stake. And as I said, 6 horses, 6 races. 3 of them are at the Racing League. 1 Kempton, 1 Punchestown, 1 Bath. And what I've done is I did have a little debate and I thought, no, I'll do 2 Yankees. So I've got 2 horses who are in both Yankees, 2 horses and 1 of them that are in an extra double, and then the other 2. So it's there's definitely 3 tiers of horses, I would say, slightly in that respect. That is what's coming up. Before I do that, what have I got to cover? I've got to cover Saturday's races, because we didn't cover that properly in the last video. Sunday's races. I didn't put anything in the comments on Monday or Tuesday. After I've done Wednesday selections, I'll go through the Tipster League stuff and see where we're at with that. But headline is, congratulations Des Gibbons, you finished top of the league for week 3. And you're also top of the league after 3 weeks in totality, so top spot in both leagues. So we'll do that, and then golf. I haven't a proper chance to look at golf, so if there's any golf, I will put it in the comments for this video at some point on Wednesday, and then we'll probably cover it off again on tomorrow night's video. But yeah, not sure. Jury's out on the golf at the moment. Not sure. So, where did we start? Saturday. Saturday was, it was a battling day, as I recall. So we had 40 on and about 32 back, about 80% back. Yeah, we had 3 nice winners and we had some nice places. Just not all. They're all separate bets, weren't they? So we had this, and we had next second winner. So it's great when you can find these horses and you let them run like 5 times, and then you back them again, and then they win, and you don't leave them, and then you back them again 5 times later. We've had a couple like that. Bear Force 1 is one of those ones. I've only backed it when it wins. I don't back it when it doesn't win. Gentle Fire was placed for Sky only as well, so some of you might have got a bit more than that, but for most it would have been just next second single only on that one. Went out a nice winner at Wolverhampton, and it's also nice to have a winner at Wolverhampton, as you know it's not one of my favourites. The Kempton bet, well, we started with Bottas. That was the best price horse in that race to get placed. Got no dollars, a bit disappointing. Reki Dame went and won nicely, and then Damascus finish did not give us any finish, let alone a Damascus finish. So we had a single on Reki Dame. It was a 50p win single, so that was helpful. Bottas was placed, and then when it was a place double on that one, so we've got bits back there. This one, 3 was a struck out one. What did we have? Place on both from some. Bottas placed, and then Knowlton Cross, which was Sky. Was it 365, Paddy, Hills, and Betway? I think 5 bookies paid it for the place. So it's place double for some. So it really does depend on who you add on that one. Similar story there with Knowlton Cross. And then we had Flight Plan, another winner over in Ireland. That was a good one. And was backed in a little bit as well, but then nothing to go with it. Although, sorry, tell a lie. Sky Bet, that was it. Those pesky Sky Bet users. Sky Bet won on Saturday, that was right, because they got paid out for 6th place on that one. So the new way the channel's recording statistics, we didn't win on the channel. Only people using Sky Bet. So as a reminder, I'm not recording statistics with Sky Bet. I'm using a different base point now. It is all in the description of this video. You can go and have a look at the update if you missed that last week. So yes, if it wasn't for that, it would have been a good day on Saturday for the channel, but the channel is no longer using Sky Bet. Not because it's not good, just because it doesn't have longevity, so I know others can't follow along long term. And then we had, I think, Burren Song placed, and that was it. And then Burren Song with No More Porter, and some would have had Burren Song and Carry Theorn. So the main 4 handicaps, I had a place in the first 3, and then the last leg it was Sky only. So it was one of those ones where if there was having a little go kind of day, and I'd done the 4 races, and to be fair, it was a consideration, but I'd spent all the stakes, so wasn't going to go more. So everyone would have missed out on the last leg by 1 place, and Sky Bet would have won a nice profit off that. So that was that. And then Sunday I had 9 horses in the end, because the French one was a non-runner, and we had only 2 places, so it wasn't great. Equality placed at the Curragh 20s, and then what was the other one? Killybeg's Warrior, which was sort of the least important one because it was only in combination doubles. So that was that. So overall last week it was a really poor one. So changed the way I'm doing the stats. That's not why it was a poor one. Just the selections, I didn't have quite enough in the right places. So we finished 64 down. So we've had worse days, worse weeks this year, but it wasn't a good week. It was minus 54% profit. So we lost just over half what we put on. Not good. And then I think that puts us about 81 down for September. So it's a really, really bad start to September. So National Positivity Day, that would be a really lovely thing. So yes, please. So yeah, stats were rubbish last week. But the point of, as everybody knows on here, who watches regularly, I'll just be honest with you. I'm not trying to sell you a dream here. I'm not going to tell you the 2 bets I'm going to put up here. I'm not going to tell you what thousands of pounds you could win if you place it. You go figure that out if you want to, because ultimately you do the game long enough, we'll hit one of these. But whether that will be in a year's time or 45 years' time, I couldn't tell you. Right? Statistically, I know when that might happen. Last year we had 3 lucky 15s, so equivalent to the Yankees we're doing now. 3 of them with 3 winners. Statistically, I only should have had 1 like that last year, and we had 3, so we absolutely over-indexed. We're struggling to get any with 2 this year. So we will see how we progress. But I'm not here over promising things. I'll tell you exactly how it is. And most people appreciate honesty. There are folk that don't. There are folk that tell me they don't, or there are folk that dislike the video. Still got somebody who's just, it's their hobby. Literally, I upload the video and they dislike it straight away. And then there's someone else who's now, I think they're up to about 12 different accounts. They literally go through it, and it takes about 2 minutes, and there's suddenly a dozen dislikes on there. And then basically YouTube goes, no, they all came from the same IP address, and therefore then chucks them all back out again. But I don't think that person's realised that. So it's just like this weird hobby. I don't know. I'm here for the 98% of people who do appreciate it, so thanks very much. All right, let's spin through. This is the plan then. So as I said, there's 6 horses. I've done it in 2 Yankees. So 405 is the first one, my only Irish horse for Wednesday. I'm going to go with Independent Expert. Drifted out a little bit as well. So I think 28s you can get in places. 25s is what I kind of took as, I think there was 3 bookies out of the 10 I'm using that were 28s, but it was only 3, and I was like, no, I'll take 25s for what we're doing, I think. So 25s, then 645 Southwell, Stars Inc. 25's got one bit of really credible form where it won over course and distance, that horse, but not done much else, so I think it's worth chancing at the prices. And then we're going to go the 2 that are in both bets. These are slightly edged it as my better ones. 7.15, we took it last time in the Racing League, we're still on it. Tiger Bay 16s is a good price. And then 8.45 Southwell. There's a question mark about Southwell, but that horse is so much better on the all-weather, and we backed it before when it's placed. 33s, if that horse stays to all-weather form, that price is going to look silly. That will. That's not great English, but yeah, it's not got. The Southwell looks a bit interesting, but it's a much better horse on the all weather than it is on the turf, and because of the age of the horse and hasn't won for ages, it get overlooked in the market. But 33-1 is a good one. So we've got 20p each way Yankee, and then we've got 50p each way singles, all four. So hopefully nice and straightforward. £8.40 is the bet. Sky are offering 5 on a couple of these races in the Racing League. I think it's these two middle ones. Virtually all the other bookies are 4 places on all 4 of these races. So Sky are best because of that. Then 365 Coral, you'll get best price guaranteed if you're putting this on Wednesday morning. Outside of that, just make sure you've got a bookie paying 4 places on all of them. Most major ones are. There's the odd one that isn't. I think Betfair might be one of the only big ones that isn't. I think there's a race that Betfair are. Then Bet2, 5:10 Bath, Havana Gold Rush, last race at Bath, 22-1. I think that's a good price. That horse has got a lot of credible form at Bath. Hasn't run as well elsewhere, but if you solely look at Bath form, that horse looks a much better horse than 22-1. 7:15 Southwell Tiger Bay, 7:30 Kempton. So I've gone through Kempton. There's a lot of kind of 2-year-old race, that kind of stuff. So I've come out with one horse. It's an 8 runner. I hope it holds to 8 runners. But Crazy Maisie 33s. That's definitely got some back form that says it is a decent price at 33s. You could interpret the form that it's basically gone off the wagon a little bit since it's changed stables, or you could interpret the form they've been waiting to get it back to Kempton. Maybe that's what we're chancing on. And then we've got 8:45 Protected Guest at Southwell. So 20p each way Yankee. And then on the 2 non-Southwell, the Havana Gold Rush and Crazy Maisie, we've got 50p each way singles on those. And then we've got an additional 35p each way double on those 2 as well. So that's £7.10, which takes the total stake up to £15.50. Sky Best. Then Coral, because last time I checked, Coral were 4 on there, and they're the only other bookmaker other than Sky that were going 4 on that one. So Sky first, then Coral, and then Paddy or 365 to get best price guaranteed. Most bookies are 3, 4, 3, 4 on that one. All right, that is the extent of the bet. So £15.50. Thursday outlook, Doncaster meeting starts, which should be interesting to get involved in, but I'm not expecting it to be particularly bumper day, and then we'll have to see how the weekend progresses. Current projection is Sunday will be in the balance, where I'll do a quick video or not, and we'll see kind of how the rest of the weekend looks when we get a little bit nearer. Okay, that is that, and then I was going to do tipstery stuff. What were the tip stuff? I'll go through it, and then I'm going to put some headlines in the comments of the video as well. Headlines were, and it should say as well, keep saying this, but I can't overstate it. Thank you very much to Stephen King for sending me all this stuff. I've compared all the stats with the stats he sent me. I think I had one calculation wrong, but otherwise we were both on point with all the stats for that, which is great. His were perfect. The only thing that I would say is, because we haven't encountered this in the first 2 weeks, so very clearly, if you spend over 10 points on the fantasy tips the league thing, it will be invalid. What do you do if someone miscalculates and only spends 8 or 9? Some would take the stance that therefore it's void because they haven't spent 10. I'm taking the stance because this is what happened for 2 people, and I'll take the stance this going forward. If there's a miscalculation under, so it's 9 point spend, I'll assume it's a 10 point spend, but it's more for you because you spent less, £1 less. But what happened this weekend is, for one person, that not voiding it worked very much in their favour, and one less so. So yeah, there was 2 people who only spent 9 points. I counted it as a 10 point spend, and therefore that's what I deducted off any returns, and that worked out very well. So for one, so 69 valid entries we had. 21 made profit, so a big drop from the first 2 weeks. Only 30% made profit. 40 lost everything. That's a much bigger jump. 58% of people lost everything. So we finished. Oh yeah, do you know what? I've just realised I've done Eugene a disservice. Eugene Rooney was top of this week. Eugene Rooney, well done to you. £48 is what you made in profit or points. Des Gibbons is top overall, but I was joint second this week. Joint second, Des, at £45. And a note on that one, that is the second time in 3 weeks that Des has made the top 10. Ian Nicol was joint second, and Ian was someone who was virtue of, I went on the side of decency, and he only spent 9 points, but he still managed to make £45 profit. So well done to Ian on that one. That was an excellent shout. And then we had Stuart Ray on 34, and then I'm going to mispronounce your name. I'm going to try my best. Shannon, Senan, Senan, and O'Brien. Shannon O'Brien, I think. Please let me know, Shannon, if I've pronounced that wrong. If it's Senan, I think it's Shannon. £32 in 5th place. And a couple of messages in dispatches. Shane Watt was 7th. That's the second time he's been in the top 10. So Des and Shane, the only two that have made the top 10 2 times. Also, special shout out to Val Barkley. Val is the only person that I can see, unless I've missed anything, that has entered 3 weeks, been counted as a valid entry 3 weeks, and made profit all 3 weeks. Albeit not gigantic profit, but Val Barkley is currently the only person who's made profit for 3 weeks every week. We've had 3 people, unfortunately, have lost all £10 all 3 weeks they've entered. So after 3 weeks, Des Gibbons is top with £62, so a decent lead. Eugene Rooney is second, 47.60. Ian Nicol third, £35. Shane Walter fourth, 29.60. Callum Angel or Angel, 25.50. Neil Lindsay, last week's top of the charts, down 5 places to joint 7th now. Of the top 7 of this week's overall, so the top 7 for 9th of September, those top 7 have all now got in the top 10 overall. So it was a significant week because there was some big winners and some big losers. What else was I going to shout out about? I think it was Des. The shout out for Des was absolute brave bet. I think it was 5 each way on the enemy at 50 to 1, and it placed. So he went all out, 1 horse, 5 each way at 50 to 1 shot. That's a brave bet, and it worked out. Well done. And then I think the other shout out was Shannon O'Brien. I think I've remembered this right. The only person who'd had both 10 to 1 winners in his staking plan. Picked 3 horses, had 10 to 1 winners on both. Shane Walter, 3 selections, all 3 placed. That was also another decent effort. So there was some good tipping out there, but it was less good tipping than we've had other weeks. So it was a bit more extreme. So interesting to see. So I'll pump some stuff into the comments for that. All right, I think that's it, and I think I've covered it all. All right, that is me, and let's see how we get on National Positivity Day. And I shall be returning in the evening of National Positivity Day to give you whatever I've got for Thursday. All right. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.